Hey guys, this is the tutorial for making the layer mask. So this is the second project for making the hybrid animal. I just started with the background with this like dinosaur picture here, and I just got rid of that like stamp, and then I added some of the shadow. This is just a simple copy and paste, and I'm using the color button with the opacity, and then I added the armadillo head just to start it. What is the layer mask? We haven't talked about that. We just talked about with the selections with the lasso, uh, quick selection tool, and magic wand, pen tool. So we kind of clipped from different picture and then paste onto the new layers, right? But now this is from the original armadillo head. Copy, paste on top. So now you have that the new layer there. Alright, so I just make it on top. So as you see now, you don't have the enough the exact cutoff from that image, but now you can use something called layer mask. So this layer mask is unlike the other selection tools. It's make your layer non-destructible. Uh, that meaning you can actually delete some of the part or make visible or invisible with black and white brush. Okay, so first of all you have to select your this is actually on the top of the head. Let me see, there you go. Okay, I'm just gonna close all the groups. Yeah, there's my okay, there you have it. That's the shadow, that's the layer one. Okay, this is new head. Okay, first of all you have to select the layer, and then you go at the bottom of your interface of the layers. This is adding the clipping mask. Actually this is called add a layer mask. Click it. Now you have the another blank layer kind of connected with on top of this selected layer. You guys see that, like when you select your actual image and actual this is the mask, it's there's a bounding box kind of show up. Okay, so you make sure you working on the actual layer or you working on the layer mask. This is the mask, so I'm gonna select the black color and use the regular brush. Select some of the proper size of the brush. Use the bracket key, I can make it bigger. So now I can just go, oh this is the 50%, so I'm gonna go make 100% now. As you can see, this is adding the mask on top of your layers. And this way you can hide some of the area of your picture with a paintbrush. But unlike the using the eraser tool, I can always come back. So as you can see, this layer mask it has the actual shape of the, whatever we selected area with a black color. So later on, if you make the mistake like that, then you can come back to white color and just repaint. It'll restore your image. So yeah, that's called non-destructive image manipulation. So we can just switch the it's switching the color is hotkey is X. Okay, keyboard X. And brush bracket key. You can make your size kind of smaller, bigger. Okay, it has to be black. There you go. And okay, in this way you can make your. By the way, I'm using the pen mouse, so I can work on a little bit freely on my fingertip. Alright, so okay, so layer mask, and also you can use the. Now I'm gonna select my original image. This is the mask and original image. If you use the brush tool on original image, it's just adding the color. So you gotta make sure you select your actual layer or mask. Okay, so I got the layer mask right here, and I'm gonna go back to my original image, and right next to it, it's called layer adjustment. So we talked about the image, the color correction with the image adjustment right here. All of these options, I can actually use it for just for the layers. With this, I'm selecting this new head layer and clicking on the adjustment for the layers, and let's go to use the hue saturation, and right on top of that layer I selected, I got new hue saturation, and I got all the control bars appear on the properties on top right here. And then probably when you do when you change this like hue, so this is changing the background, the whole image hue saturation too, which I don't want that, because I want to change just the top layer. Like hue saturation change. In this case, right click, you gotta make create clipping mask, and you got that little arrow called it's kind of like toward for your original new head layer, and I'm using the same hue saturation bar. As you can see now, there's effects only working on the layer behind it or below it. Okay, so I'm just gonna make kind of like a kind of bluish grayscale saturation down a little bit, kind of try to match with the body color. Okay, and then I can just move around, and I'll keep using that like layer mask, right, and just get rid of some of the other body parts. Paintbrush again. Yeah, use the black color, bracket key, and keep kind of clipping. And what about like when you blend with that like boundary here? I'm using grayscale color, or you can use the opacity of the brush like 50%. Same idea, kind of like 50% gray, kind of mixed together with the image behind it, or with your new layer here. Clipping mask, and this is layer adjustment. Okay. And sometimes you gotta use the clone tool. For example, now I'm gonna go back to the background image. Okay, so this is called spot healing tool, or so let's say I wanna get rid of these like stamps from some of the photo stock image, websites and stuff. I'm just gonna go make the selections, and of course you can copy paste it right here, but this is called stepping tool, stamping. My hotkey is S key. I'll make my brush size a little bit bigger. Okay. Hold down Alt or Option key or Command key. It'll give you the source area. So left click. So I'm sampling from the source area. I'm moving my cursor on top. Left click. Now you see the source area and target area with a plus sign and a big brush tip, right? So in this way you can just copy paste, and this is S key again, sampling from somewhere else. So in this way I can get rid of those watermarks or stamps from the photo stock image. Some other, yeah, I'll talk about more of this, but another tool you can use, this is the patch tool. So I'm using patch tool, just make some selections and left click, move, and as you can see you can sampling from a different area from your image. Let go, it'll kind of blend whatever you selected from your source image and your target image. And the nice thing about this is kind of you cannot really see it's adding the blur of the boundary you selected. So I mean right now this background image is kind of blurry anyway because it's using the camera lens effects, camera depths. So yeah, when you use this patch tool you can very quickly fix the stamping marks or watermarks from the website image. Okay, so first thing first, you gotta make sure you have to have like a lot of resources cut off and use the layer mask and layer adjustment.